Generic greetings and welcome to Empires in Ruins. Today's beverage is a fairly standard but fairly nice cup of tea. So, Empires in Ruins is a fairly interesting concept. It's a 4x tower defense game, which is not normally something I would think of hybridizing. However, it does seem to work in this particular case. I've played a couple of hours of the game, I believe, thus far, and that's been contained within the campaign mode, which is the, I guess, default and best mode of play. There's also a sandbox mode where all the research is unlocked and you don't really touch a lot of the 4x side of it, as well as an arcade mode, which I believe is just a straight tower defense element and going through the maps, doing the tower defense side of it. I think there's 26 maps in here in total, but as you can see from the bottom right there, this is the development build, and I'm playing this about a week before release. Depending on when you're watching this, it's either out soon or out now. I believe it's due out on the 4th of February. It's been described to me as being in an advanced state of early access, so basically it's feature complete, all the campaigns there, but these just things like localizations, bugs to be squished, and obviously balance changes to be implemented, but that's pretty much it. So either way, I'm going to jump in and show you a little bit of the game. We're going to go to load game and load up the campaign that I've been going for, actually 4 hours, so I have lost a little bit more time to the game than I thought, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So I'll show you a very brief overview of the sort of management side of it and the 4x bit, and then we'll go into the tower defense, which I do much prefer. So this is where we start on the map. It is a story-driven campaign. As always, I'm going to skip over that. I'm going to skip over the dialogue because I just tend to not want to spoil any of that. We start in this location here. You can click on any of these provinces and you've got a boatload of statistics. Basically, you've got resources, what you can build, you've got things like your attack and defense values, your rebellious activity and authority. If rebellious goes too high, then you just get like riots and things like that. And you obviously food, if that goes too low, people start dying because of starvation. You get events on here. You can alter your taxation levels. You can also alter the amount of troops that are here as well, either stationed on defense, or you can go and move them off to like attack in an army. You can build things. So at the moment we are currently building a fortification tier 1. All of these will unlock certain either statistical bonuses, so for example infrastructure there just increases our wood, stone and iron output, but you can also get like scouting towers and things like that. You also have people you can assign to them, so in this particular case we've got Adelma de Poltro, and they increase our military modifiers and economic modifiers and fire rates and things like that, and there's loads of stuff. I'm not going to try and explain all of it because A, I haven't got all of it down, and B, we would be here quite a long time. There's a bit of dialogue here. Oh, actually no, we've got some skill points. This is us essentially. This is our main character, Sergeant Hans Heimer, who is a cigar-chomping alcoholic who deliberately goes out of their way to mismanage and annoy people. I personally don't like the character at all and wouldn't put them in charge of a plastic soldier, never mind a full army, but that's by and by. Let's level up their leadership value because that increases effectiveness of many things apparently. Let's confirm that. You can see they also have some special abilities as well, which we'll get into once we go into the tower defense element. You've got like your officers there where you can hire more and you can assign them to these different areas. You can move your you can send reinforcements to the provinces if there's like rebellious activity going on. You can move your headquarters. You can't actually build on any of the provinces that you don't have direct control over, which is basically where you've got your main encampment there. You've got your scouting actions. You've got different characters as well. So this is Scout Sergeant Vustenberg, who will tell us what's going on in different places about if there's some wrongdoings going on or some secret things happening. You've got our research guy, so let's have a quick look at the research tree. A lot of it is fairly boring, if I'm honest. It's like plus 3% to this and 2% to that. It's just your statistical increases, which are good but not really that interesting. But the interesting stuff is things like unlocking a cannon tower or poison arrow abilities and that sort of thing. You've got 3 tabs, your tower stuff. Obviously it's all locked behind different chapters. We're currently on chapter 2 of the campaign. You've got your soldier increases, so things like, again, extra speed and stuff, and then your resources, which I've just recently unlocked iron mine and quarry because I find that I was running out of resources there. Oh, and pulleys. I've now got pulleys, which gives me some stone production, which is not that interesting, but it actually is very, very, very useful because, well, you need all that to build towers. Anyway, we've also got provinces overview. Again, loads of statistics and numbers. Basically, that red stuff is bad there. Let's have a quick look at that. What that mustaches for the princesses. So that's actually decreasing our authority and rebellion rebellious activities going up there. I have actually stationed some troops there. It is possible to quell rebellious activity. We'll do probably kick some into a cell. Yes, I'm sure that'll work out. And it has... so has that worked out? It has decreased happiness, and hopefully that will work. Anyway, we'll close that one off. We've also got our progress report from... this is... I believe they're called Turg, but for whatever reason our main character calls them Turd because ha ha ha, the joke. Like I say, he's not a very nice person. Anyway, what do we need to do in order to win? Well, we have to take these 2 areas for this campaign, and the way we do that is by sending scouts, and we will send scouts from probably our main area here, which is 39% there, so we have a 77% chance of that being a success. If we send it from here, you can see it's a lot lower chance of success, so we're going to send it from there, and it'll take 2 turns because it has to go between the provinces, and we'll do the same over here, but this time we're going to send it from this location. It's going to take 3 turns, but it's a low chance of it working. It does take some resources to go, but as you can see, resources are quite plentiful. So we will end the turn there. We're currently on turn 81, and it looks like we have managed to finish some research there, and that'll just be some some padded leathers there, which is increasing our armor. I'm going to probably go for... I want some extra health, actually, because I do find I use these as like a last resort to protect our main base. End the turn once more, and what's going on? What's going on over there? A booze theft. So once again, happiness has been hit, but it's not too bad. We've got good authority there. You can see we've also got like resources that we can build. When I said earlier you can't manually build things on these locations, it will automatically just build stuff, which is fine. We've also got a governor there as well. I haven't seen... It does say at different times about things like... loyalty and such, and you can bribe people. That, at the moment, I don't believe has been introduced. It's obviously introducing more elements as we go through the campaign, but with it only being 4 hours in and on the second chapter rather, I haven't seen everything that it has to offer. Anyway, I think, have we done our... we got the scouting failed. Oh, that's bad. Let me just open that up. Not that one. Scouting failed. Scouting failed. Did it fail? Yes, it looks like it did actually fail, which is all kinds of bad. End the turn once more. Sir, a man asked to join our ranks. Shall I let him? Yes. So this is Orestes Camillus, and they want 100 gold for a higher cost, and we will hire the officer because we can then assign them to different locations, and I think I will actually assign them there straight away because they're right at the front lines, and I'm really wanting to have an army here. Actually, can I reduce that down? We can reduce it down. Right movement to the guards, so authority increases, or left move it to the army, which is increase the attack and defense. Let's move it as far as we can, actually. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but rebellious activity is low and authority is quite high anyway. Assign this guy will help out, and it means that when we do scouting missions from here, which I'm going to do shortly anyway, we should be able to have it as a high chance of success. And once again, scouting has failed, which is not good. Let us scout from here then, and we'll scout this location from there. 40% chance to succeed, and I guess we'll scout from there again. Do that, and there we go. We can see the scout reports have failed. Fairly, sir, our scouts have been butchered and no new information is available. That's a shame. Same for that one there, and you can see our rating has gone down in espionage. That's bad. Let me just go for... Let's just try and be cheeky and just go scouting from there. Yes, and then end the turn. And failure. What a surprise. I'm not surprised at all because we had a low rating there. This is... Sir, yes, every time I hear your voice, Turd, a little bit of me dies inside. Do you know, right? As I said, I'm going to skip the dialogue. I don't want to spoil anything there. And he's a bit crass anyway. And, so in Volmarge, or however you say that, we have success. So 100% success rate. So we know everything that we can know from this location. So we know there's some natural resources there. We know that its defense is quite low, and its authority and everything else is quite low too. As I said, this is like early on in the campaign anyway, so we expect to we expect to have it quite easy at this stage. It looks like we've finished some research, so I'm going to check that out. And I think we'll go for probably extra armor once again, trying to get these soldiers a little toughened up just a little bit. So we know that we know what's in here. So what I'm going to do is we can see all the stats there, but if we go for this one, we see very little. We can see that they've got a good defense though, 66%. So attacking that is something I don't want to attempt, but I do want to attempt attacking on that one there, and we will attack from this location. We can see we have a battle modifier. That's because we've obviously put a lot of our armies there, because we took them off guard duty and put them into the army, so we'll send them on that attack. And we've also got, what's this here, cattle rustling, so food has gone down, and because of that we now have less food and the population's going to go down as well. I can't really do much about that, but there you are. So this is our battle board. I'm guessing you can later on assign like these different commanders and stuff to this, but at this stage it's just a straight fight between ourselves and the enemy. So we've got economic modifiers and different ratings based on like our research and stuff. We can either auto resolve it or fight it manually. We're going to fight it manually because, well, that shows you the game, doesn't it? So let's go over and see what we can do. So it's going to load up the map, which I'm going to guesstimate is fixed based on I'm going to guesstimate it's fixed based on the campaign. I don't think it's a randomly generated or anything, but I actually genuinely don't know. Anyway, quick rundown of the UI. Obviously, in the center is our main playfield. We'll get in that moment. Top left, we show the two people who build things, so they can die, and if you're trying to build towers and they get attacked, yes, they will fall over. Speaking of building, we've got options for building, towers, and then your repair tool. You also have a context menu where you've got right-click on the center playfield, and you've got all of the options. Obviously, these cost different resources to build. The 4 resources are iron, stone, wood, and gold. The gold is you get from killing the enemies and skipping the waves. The rest of it you get when there are enemies on the board, and you slowly gather. Depending on what research you have, normally I think it's 5, but in this particular case we've got 6 and 7 because I've got different research there. We've got resource shown on the left-hand side. We've got our special abilities, which are not yet unlocked. We have our options for fighting and time controls, and then finally our health of the keep or castle or outpost or whatever you want to call it. This thing here, if that goes to 0, you lose. So first things first, I guess. It's a bit old school looking. I don't say that in a bad way. I think it's obviously deliberately like that. And the water's very nice though. It actually, when I look at this, it honestly reminds me of things like Final Liberation and like sort of that mid to late 90s sort of look, where I can imagine it being made in like Lightwave 7 or something like that. Anyway. It's very old school looking, but there's actually a very good level of detail, especially when you come to the towers and stuff. I'll show you that in a bit. Anyway, let's go. Speaking of towers, let's place some towers. So we can see that the enemy will come from potentially 3 locations. This area, and then finally on the right there as well. Now, they will come from there and obviously go to that and then try and destroy it. The map is set up so it looks like obviously they're going to come this way and they can split up, but this is quite a long path, but this is a short one. The problem is, A, we don't know where they're coming from, and B, this is not the final path because there are certain enemies that can alter this, so we have to be aware of that. So what I'm going to do is place down a scouting tower, and this allows us to see what is coming and where they're coming from. Now the problem with this is that obviously we want to place a couple of them right near these entrances, but we don't have that much money, so we're just going to have to basically guesstimate where they're going to come from and place them quite conservatively. I'm going to place one in this corner here, probably there, and maybe over there should have been better, but we have more time to react if they're coming from that location. Going over to towers, and we've got a guards tower and a catapult tower and a shrine. Your guards tower is just direct damage, a catapult tower area effect, and the shrine is like a buff and debuffer thing. You can always press on the little eye there from information. It gives you a little blurb, shows your statistics and whatnot, and also what it does. So the catapult tower, ignore cover bonus in enemies, can't shoot flying enemies, vulnerable to fire, area effect damage, and upgrades to a ballista tower, which is very good good at air, I believe, because it can shoot in a big straight line there. And you've also got, I believe cannon tower, which is my favourite tower so far. And you can also see it's got maximum ranks because they do level up as they take out enemies. So let's place a guards tower, and we're going to place it right next to our outpost here, our keep. Like I said, not too sure what you officially call it, but there you go. You can see that we get someone move off and then build it. And as I mentioned about the detail on it, we've got like the flag flying there. You'll be able to see like all the shots coming out of it, and it's actually nestled in this nice little foresty bit. Speaking of forests, we have not much wood, so I'm going to build a lumberjack. We also have options for an iron mine as well as a quarry, but we're going to build a lumberjack first. And you might notice that the places where you can build stuff actually alters based on whether it's a tower or a building. So towers, you can see we got actually a fairly large area. Anything green is where we can build, and they have different footprints as well. So obviously the scout tower is quite small, whereas the catapult tower is a lot larger there. But in this particular case, lumberjack, we want to place it near some trees, so in the center here is a good option, but this still can be attacked, so we have to bear that in mind. And sadly, there's nothing really, there's not really a location where we can build that in the center there, so we'll place it probably over on the right hand side. Perhaps we'll place it there, and that should do us quite nicely. So obviously we're taking as much time as we want. We haven't started the fight. We have the option to look around and check things out and that sort of thing, but now that we've got pretty much everything built, we don't have many options now. In fact, you know what, I might build another scouts tower, and I'll place it over there. Maybe that's a bad call because, well, even though if we can see the enemies, fine, but if we can't kill them because we don't have the towers, then that's all kinds of bad. I'm going to speed up to a faster speed because obviously the worker is just heading across there. They can't cross rivers. They will have to use the bridges and so forth, but they will happily just walk through forests. And well, that's built now. This has no offensive capability, but you can upgrade it to an outpost, which well, at least makes it a bit better. Anyway, that is now built, and we'll go to normal game speed, and we will probably have a little bit of a fight. So let's click fight. We have 21 waves. The first phase is the scout phase, so basically you see scouting is progress. First it will show the direction of the enemies, and then it will show what type of enemies we're going to face. So we know something's coming this way, and this way. So all three corners are spawning units, and we can mouse over that and we can see that it's got 5 rabid dogs there. Once the scouting is finished, we can click on the scout report and we can see what's coming. So we know that there's 3 detected paths. If there's something that's not detected, the game will normally tell you here, and it'll say, look, we haven't found everything, but we think something's headed from another location, and you'll quite easily see it when stuff starts spawning from the corners. Anyway, we can click on these enemies, and once again, you get a nice readout about what sort of statistics it have. The rabbit hounds are very, very easy to defeat. Basically, one shot from the tower will take them out, so you see every time they get hit, they die, because they are not very powerful. But we are getting gold off that as well. So, as I said, you gather resources by simply waiting and having enemies on the table. Now, once there's no enemies left, then you don't gather these resources. But there is a reason why you may want to wait longer and not skip to the next wave. Skipping to the next wave, we can do that now. Look, we've got over a minute to basically sit around, but we're not gathering these resources anymore. But if we skip the wave, we get extra gold, but that slowly goes down. I'm going to place a guards tower in that corner there. I think that would be quite useful, and we'll probably place another one around here, but we'll have to see how we get on. So you can see the workers going to build that. I'm going to skip the wave because we know that anything that's coming this way is going to take a while, and there we go. We now have some units coming along. So we've got, it seems to be these bandits. I call them looters, but yeah, interchangeable. Basically, they've got bags on the back, and they've got like a little truncheon there, and basically they want to destroy this because, well, that's their lot in life. And as you can see now, things are getting in. So we have lost some health, bit of screen shake there, and we've lost 6 health in total from this one, which is not good, but hopefully that'll be the worst that we'll experience there. But what I'm going to do is go for a catapult tower, and I'm going to place it on this corner because it's got good arc of fire, it doesn't require line of sight, and also if we upgrade the range of it, it should be able to hit over here as well. Oh, and you can hear that noise there? That is the dogs attacking our worker, and you can see the, oh, there you go, Herb is out working. No, Herb is currently dead. Try again later. Sadly, Herb did die there, but it does respawn them, and they're actually called Herb as well. I wonder if it's Herb's brother. Anyway, we've also got Bonsu and finished that. So these towers here, we can click on them, and we can upgrade the range, their fire rate and their damage output. You can also give them a bigger upgrade to like the next level of tower or a different type of tower. So I'm going to skip to the next one. I'm wanting to get that to a cannon tower, which requires 145 gold. So it is actually quite an expensive thing there. You can see that we've had a nice shot there and good area effect damage, and they've now been taken out, which is good. And we have one of the most annoying units in the game. This is a sapper. The sapper can dig tunnels, open new paths, and they also fire and explode on death. So they fling dynamite, I believe, and they do very good damage, well, very bad damage in our case, to the towers. And when they die, they also explode. But the main thing is they dig tunnels, so they can, say, put a tunnel there and dig it and have the tunnel there, and things will go that way. Also, they can clear paths, so they can say, there you go, look, so they're making a path. They're doing exactly what we described there. So they're clearing a path from there to there. So they will, instead of going around this area, some units will skip and go that way, which is bad. And you can see they're now getting hit, and they will blow up, and luckily they weren't in range of that tower, so that's good. However, we now have the option to get a cannon. So that'll take some time to upgrade, so we'll just wait until that happens. When you upgrade, it does repair the tower, so if the tower is very damaged, if you upgrade, it just finishes it off, so that is pretty good. We'll go to the next wave, earn ourselves a bit of gold. You can see we are low on iron and stone, so it would be nice for us to build a quarry, but the only quarry I can build is over here, so I guess I'll get that on the go there. So we've got loads of stuff spawning from that side and from that side. Let's go for the scout report. We can see we've got 21 of these bandits, and we got one sapper as well. Now they're not going to use this path because it didn't, I don't believe it showed me that, so that's fine. You can see all of these are getting hit. Now we will have a bit of a problem because they are starting to get past. We do have options for a composite bow or a crossbow tower, and I'll probably go for a crossbow tower. And there's the cannon going off there. I do find it's better to build closer to this area. Oh, you can see that actually took some damage there because of the sapper. Yeah, I find it's best to build closer to your main base because, well, quite frankly, if you put them further out... oh, good grief, that's been damaged. Let's go for some repair there, and we'll repair both of those. Yeah, if you build further out and they tend to skip like this, then it's sort of all been a bit of a waste, hasn't it? So what have we got there? We've got 10 dogs from there. We've got... some dogs from there and nothing over there because we're not in range of it, but that's fine. Let's go for a shrine. Oh, we can't place a shrine there, which is a bit of a shame. I wanted to place a shrine there, but it's not working out. How are we doing for gold? Actually fairly poor. Let's skip to the next phase, and what I'm also going to do is go for double shifts, which I believe increases our production of iron mines, lumberjacks, and alike. So there's all of the dogs getting attacked. They are basically just very easy gold, and I've just realised that they can fight and hit there for some reason. Let's go for... Actually, don't want a crossbow tower. I'm just going to pause it for a moment. I do find that you can just... Because you can pause it at any time, and you can just take your time and think. It's not a terribly stressful one in that regard. So we've got crossbow towers, and we've got composite bow towers. The crossbow tower, as far as I can tell, is just better. It's got better armour. It's got more... Oh, it's got the same health, actually. It does more damage. It's got more... Oh, it's got less fire rate, though. It doesn't fire as fast, but it hits harder. I think that probably a composite bow tower is better for here because generally things are getting with low health and you want them to fire fast. I think you want them to fire fast to finish the units off. At least that's my maybe strange logic behind it. We can see the cannon tower is firing there. The range is obviously shown in this red bit there. And luckily, we're now firing at them, and that's fairly easy. I'm going to skip straight away to the next wave to get more gold, and I want to increase the range of that tower and also increase the fire rate of it to, well, the 2 rating there, because, quite frankly, that is going to be a bit of a linchpin. You can see this now has a chevron there. We've got 1 chevron on this cannon tower and 2 chevrons on this thing. That means it has leveled up somewhat. We can click on the tower settings panel here, and which shows the morale, which will be used by some of the enemy units. Basically, they will come along and they want to Basically, there's one unit that can shout at the tower and demoralize them, and it stops them firing. We've got chance of double damage and half damage. You can also change. You can't directly control the towers, so you can't like click on a tower and then tell it to attack certain things, but you can alter its targeting system from here. So you can say close to the castle, first enemy in the area, etc., and also lock on targets. So this particular case, it'll say close to the castle. It's going to target the closest one to the castle and lock on and keep firing until it's dead. Obviously, you turn that off. It's just going to fire whatever this one is here. We've also got all of the battle modifiers as well, which is based on your research and your ranks and things like that. But anyway, let's let that crack on. We can see a bear is now coming in. Let's check out the bear. It is one bear, a singular bear, which is not actually very well. It's fairly damaging, 20, so it'll take 20 health off the main keep there, but it's also got a lot of health. We also have another sapper from somewhere, and I can't see. Oh, there's the sapper coming along there. So they're going to fling some dynamite at that thing, and then they're going to blow up, which means this tower is pretty much almost dead. We're going to skip to the next wave straight away because we really just want to get the gold as much as possible. Actually, you know what might be better? I was going to say I was going to upgrade this tower, and that would have repaired it, but we didn't have the gold anywhere. Speaking of upgrade, I'm going to go for extra range on this thing. I do tend to prefer to stack these cannon towers as much as possible, which is maybe a bad way of doing it, but there you are. Oh, it looks like our scout tower has actually taken some damage there. I'm actually going to level that up to an outpost because it'll increase its range. We might be able to see what's coming from that location. You can see we have the bear, and also I believe that is a bear handler. It is a bear handler, yes, and its incite bear ability gives them 25% extra damage on the bear, but quite frankly, we're not really bothered at this stage. You can see that the cannon's going to turn around, and cannon versus bear, cannon wins every time. And we also want to get this thing up to a crossbow tower, but that requires gold, so I'm going to skip to get that gold and then level that up to a crossbow tower. I also want to place a crossbow tower probably in this corner here. Oh, see that there? See that in yellow? That means that something funky is going on, and it's going to be this sapper. They are probably going to build a tunnel, and they're going to build from there and tunnel all the way along to there, which is suboptimal to say the least. And we can see that we have the bear handler and bear coming along here. Even though it's old school looking, I'd like to say it's not bad looking, it's just old school looking. And that cannon person is a bit of a maverick, just likes to fire into that corner there. I think it's when the enemy dies and it's all ready to fire. And you can see this tower is getting attacked. You can see that guy was flinging something at that there, but because of its armor, it's basically resistant against it, so that's fine. And there we go. And you can hear that noise, that digging noise. It is someone with digging implements and digging under here, and the diglet digging all the way to, looks like to be around here. We can see that guy because of the scout towers, so there's the entrance to the tower, and we're digging all the way across to here probably. So this is where we can probably activate our double shifts, and we're going to spend this time basically getting more money, because, well, some more resources, because while they're on the table, we are still getting resources. That is going up. He says, yep, there it did actually tick. I was doubting myself for a moment there. The problem is, though, that we are not getting any gold, and it is gold that we actually need. So I'm going to skip to the next wave, and I do want to place another one of these towers, probably here, because we'll get them not only coming from this location, we'll also get them coming round, although this, what they're digging there, could cause us some problems. Speaking on soundtrack for a moment, it's sort of rocky folk, I guess you could call it. Yeah. Oh, hang on, what's that? No, a bear handler and a bear. Not really too much of a problem. Yeah, rocky folk music, I guess you could call it. And as I say, that combined with the look of it, it just made me think of Final Liberation. Oh, there's an enemy that's really annoying. So this is a marauder. What they do, very cleverly, they're elusive. What they'll do is they'll wait on the edge of a tower's range, and as soon as that tower attacks, they will then start running. It means that they have this like they have this sort of way of going about things. So you see they're actually running now past all of that, which is, yeah, a bit of a problem at times. And what is a problem is the amount of enemies that are coming in to this thing. And I think we'll actually lose some... Oh, no, I was going to say we'll lose some health here. But no, they did actually fire there. This actually has an ability, doesn't it? One of these has an ability. It is there. Poison arrows. We can unlock poison arrows. But I don't think we need it just yet. Poison arrows are quite good if they are quite far away, because if you have poison arrows here and it slowly does damage over time, well, it's already too late. They're already right here, so you want to place them probably where this is, actually. It's not a terrible place to put them, but quite frankly, I'm going to increase the fire rate on this cannon because I tend to like that. This scout report is finished. We've got 2 of these brutes now. They pound the ground and cause considerable damage, so we have to be aware of that. Resources are good. Iron is not so good, but we should be able to build an iron mine, and I'll place it... we'll place it up there, why not? As long as you place it near the rocks, I think it is fine. You can see these brutes have come along now, and they hit the ground, and this has damaged this tower. I want to probably get that repaired. I'll press the repair button, but we'll see what happens there. You see the brutes coming along, and they're going to smash the ground and do some damage to that tower. There we are, and that guy's gone. Yeah, I like the detail on the tower. You see it's like all muddy down the bottom there. We've got the flag and all, like you see that it's like lights there as well. It's like you say, old school, but nice looking. One could probably draw comparisons with Factorio in that particular sense, and nobody's really leveled any criticism at that for looking oldish. Anyway, we have more spawns there. I'm going to skip to the next wave to get this gold because that's what we're all about. Increase the range of the cannon tower. Stacking like that may not be the best way of doing things, but it's the way we're doing it, so we'll crack on. To activate double shifts, we've also got loot corpses, which I've not actually used before. Let's pause a second. Those enemies surely have something valuable for them. For the duration, killed enemies provide a bonus to gold loot, 25% in looting, so we're going to activate that and unpause it. We can see that we have another type of unit, but they're currently lying face down dead in the dirt. They are the provoker. So these silver tongues provocateurs can challenge the resolve of even the most experienced soldiers, showing them with empty promises and chilling threats. Basically, it says we the folks. They use the ability against towers, and it stops the towers firing for a small amount of time, which is quite bad. Although looks like that was shot and yeah, didn't really last very long at all. Anyway, so that is fairly sorted. That side is covered. That one is pretty much covered, and we've got the cannon firing at everything that we can. I believe I'm going to lose my worker there. Yeah, the worker's been taken out by these guys. It is a valid tactic. You send out your workers at strategic points to block the enemy's path. I have done it previously. What I want to do as well is also build a barracks. Now, the barracks is an interesting building, but sadly I can't really place it exactly where I wanted it. I actually wanted it here, so I'm going to sell that lumberjack like so, to then also, because we've got loads of wood anyway, we don't need any more wood. And I'm going to build, I can't build a barracks there. I can build it closer. I'll build it there. The barracks allows us to deploy some soldiers. I'm going to skip once again to the next phase there. Allows us to build some soldiers, which we can then deploy, and they will attack anything that tries to get near them. So we're going to place one, you can't really see it, but I'm going to place one there, like so, and that will basically mean we deploy one of these spearmen, and they'll stand there, and oh, see that? Didn't check that out. That was actually a wave of, well, it was just one flyer at that point, but we didn't see it because we were too focused over there. So we've now got flyers. These crossbow towers can fire at it. This one can't, which is a bit of a shame. What I'm going to do is place another guards tower in here, I think, and skip to the next phase. And what we're on wave 13 of 21, so that's actually quite good. We've only taken 6 damage on the castle there, or the main keep thing. And here is our spawn. Looking at this, we've got bears, some brute here, some of the runners. Nothing that I'm particularly worried about, to be honest, considering what we're armed with. I'm very tempted to skip to the next phase, just to get that extra gold, but perhaps not. We'll keep the pace deliberately a little slow. We're going to repair that damage there. That is fine. You can see the damage output is pretty good there. I want to give this tower ability poison arrows now, and do I have to activate it? I believe I don't have to activate it. No, it's dipped in deadly poison. These arrows cause lasting damage to the enemies they receive, even just a scratch from them. So it's damage protecting 3 over 3 seconds. And oh, see that there? That line is probably people using... They won't be using that tunnel, surely not. It is a possibility. Skip to the next phase, and we will get poison arrows. Ah, we can't. We can't get poison arrows on that one, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, the enemies are coming along here, and it looks like some of them are using that tunnel. So we can still see them go under the ground there, but they are using that tunnel. We're going to activate our double shifts again to get more resources. As you can see, wood resource is pretty good, stone is pretty good, and iron is also increased as well. It might be of some benefit to... Oh yeah, we can see there's like a poison effect on them. So we get like a green bit around them. Yeah, that means they are poisoned. You can also get what we got... I believe that's boiling oil, and there's another ability there as well. The towers have different abilities based on what you have unlocked, you see. This one, we probably go for a crossbow tower on that one. And this one, poison-dipped arrows. That is now unlocked. And that's really loud for some reason. This tower is actually doing quite well. It's got 76 kills, which is fairly good. We probably want to increase its range and fire rate as well, so we'll do that. Skip to the next wave. We're 15 of 21 now, and we have some flyers, so we can check that out. We can see it is a glider. It seems to me that the Valmassian inventor Leonardus de Perdi invented these gliders specifically for people who want to have a rush of adrenaline before they die. Okay, fair enough. They have explosive death, so upon death the glider continues moving along the current path and then crashes and dies and blows up, because that's just a really lovely ability that we have to deal with. And Fiery Rain, it drops bombs. That's all it does. So I'm not too worried. I don't actually know its current path, but it's surely going to go past one of these towers, which will take it out. I'm actually going to skip to the next wave because I think it's probably a decent thing to do. I do want to get one of these towers as well, which slows them down, but the only place I can put it is around here, so probably a bit pointless. It looks like it's going to take out my scout tower. Well, maybe not take out, but certainly drop some bombs on it, and oh yeah, that's actually fairly damaging, and there it goes and damages the best tower that we have, sadly. That is our cannon tower. I'm going to repair that, and that means that this can't fire while it's being repaired. And so there's another type of enemy there. That is, I believe, a forest witch, a wood witch. They have a couple of abilities. They have an aura of despair. It basically, all around them, does some damage. The Raven one is quite bad. You saw the Ravens perhaps around this tower. It blocks line of sight and stops it firing. And one of the worst is it can just summon a bear, because well, it can. I don't know why it can summon a bear, but I guess it's a forest witch. It can summon bears, and you can see it has actually been paired with the bear handlers. Not that we're really too concerned about that, because they are being taken out quite fast. We've also got some dogs using this tunnel as well. Probably want to upgrade the damage of this tower threefold. Let's skip to the next wave. 17 of 21 now. We have a flyer because that's in blue. We have something using these paths here because that's in yellow, and then in red is just your standard path. So here we go. Let's probably upgrade. Don't want to upgrade any of these. Well, that one we don't really want to give it the poison because it's 100 and it's fairly pointless, I believe. So we got the flyer there. I'm going to increase the range of this tower as well as its fire rate. Obviously, it requires more gold, which we are sorely lacking at the moment, but there you are. So this tower is going to... almost destroyed it. It did destroy it, and it's going to go past, and luckily it went right past it and missed, which is good. You can see it's taking some damage there. Going to increase the fire rate of it because, well, more arrows, more better in this particular case. There's the cannon fire and taking out the dogs there. That's pretty good. Obviously, there's multiple ways you could probably go for it. You could go for a very spammy build where you use lots of towers spread out across the map, perhaps with like the abilities to poison and do a sort of dot damage over time type of setup, or you could do what we've done here, which is only use a very specific amount of towers and level them up and that sort of thing. That's the way I prefer to do it at this stage, but it'll be based on the maps as well as the type of enemies that you will face. I'm going to level up the range of this threefold because I want to be able to shoot right from here. I also want to eventually get another catapult tower and place it around here, and perhaps even I don't know if you saw that there was one of them provokers, and they didn't even get a look in. They just died straight away, which is good for us. Let's activate double shifts and a catapult tower. Sadly, we can't place there, but I could probably place one in here. and that's not a terrible idea, so let's put it there. And I might even level this up to a crossbow, sorry, not a crossbow tower, a ballista tower. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to actually skip to the next wave because there's only these 4 guys coming, so not too concerned with that one, because as you can see, the cannon tower is firing there. And these can only go to level 3. You have to go higher rated towers to level them up further. This one we are going to give, I think we'll level up to a ballista because they can shoot aerial units, so that would hopefully be okay for us. Let's skip to the... no, we won't want to skip to the next wave because the next wave is technically the one just coming in now. And what have we got? 2 brutes. Yes, I will skip the next wave then. I think I will skip to the next wave. Range upgrade on that one. And you can see the tower's now in. We also want to increase the range of that because looking at where the... Sadly, looking at where the... fly is coming, it's going to actually go nowhere near this thing, but if we get the range upgrade we might be alright. This, we've got some of the marauders, we've got wood witches, and then 1 glider. This is actually wave 20 of 21, so I believe we're doing quite well, although it can go horribly wrong at any moment. In fact, the last game that I had, it did actually go very, very wrong. Oh, that's actually firing it there. It does tend to miss, I find, quite a bit. Or at least do very little damage or something. Something seems to be a bit of a awry when it comes to this thing. And there we go, that's fired. It does actually go through enemies, so if you place it on the edge there, it will sort of skewer through them, which is quite good. That one is now taken out, but it's going to land right near our tower, and we'll go for a repair on that one. Repair on... Actually, no, let's go for an outpost because it should automatically repair that. And then also increasing the range once again on this thing. And this is the very last wave. So let's skip that to get the extra gold. And we'll see how we get on. I probably want to deploy another spearman. Actually, no, I don't want to deploy another spearman. That spearman hasn't really done much. You can see that we've got the bear that's been poisoned and then shot by a cannon, which is not a good thing for that. And we can see we've got a lot of flies. That is a total of 3 flies, and wow, look at that. It's a lot of people attacking because we have to scroll down, so let's just see how we get on there. So we've taken that one out. It's going to land right on the tower. No, it's missed actually, but we will try and repair this thing. We will take that out. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, but it is going to land on us there, which is a bit of a shame. We have got the ballista tower there. We've also got the cannon tower firing. There's a lot of stuff going under the ground there. Once again, it's flinging bombs on our scout tower, but that's the least of our worries at this stage. It looks like they are getting past, but they are poisoned as well, and they also are digging, so there's more digging happening. Looks like everything's pretty much clear over here. We've got some ravens there. Oh, they've actually dug a path across there by the look of it, so they can go straight across, but the cannon is firing quite well. We're going to upgrade the fire rate of this one just to get there's some poison in there just before they finish off. Where is that? Ah, looks like we've taken out the rest of it, and that's it. You won, Commander. You will live to fight another day. Have no illusions, though. Chances to fail will be right behind every turn of the road. 2 out of 3 stars rating. We're on intermediate there. You can see the amount of kills that we have. We didn't kill all of the enemies. 2 of them, in fact, managed to get in there. That was the ones that ran into the keep. Good experience. You can see headquarters only lost 6 health. Damage taken by towers 561. Other statistics that we probably don't care about. Back to the campaign map. So that is basically your 2 phases. Important news here. We've retaken control of Volma, and there's a lady who wants to see you, sir. Get out of the way, man. Where is the commander? Again, I'm going to skip that because I don't want to spoil some stories and things. It's something I don't tend to do in these videos. So we have an option for pillage it or peacefully occupy. We're going to peacefully occupy that, and we now control this area. So you can see our authority is quite low. We want to increase the amount of soldiers we have there, but we can't at this stage. So that's probably going to go quite awry at some stage. Anyway, we have research still on the go there. We're researching the studded leather. We can check out our progress report. So it's only retake control of Flagov, which is here, but we know that it is quite a strong province because of its defensive rating there. We'll probably do some more scouting, get into there, see what is going on. As I said, as you progress through the campaign, you'll unlock different research options and just different bits of the game and mechanics. I do want to probably get eventually flaming arrows from the composite bow tower, and I think you can combine that with like oil and such. We've got a sniper tower, we've got rangers tower, we've got, well, here we've got a repeating ballista tower, which is an advancement over the ballista tower. We've got a bombard tower, And we finally got a Bombardier Tower, which I don't actually know what that is. Looks interesting, though. Again, soldiers, it's all just statistical bonuses, not that interesting. And we've also got forts, which you can get spiked headquarters and a moat, fortress. And we've also got a builder's tent, so you can get more builders. Either way, that is a bit of the research there. You can see we get 9 per turn, and you can stack it up, so if you're not too sure what to research, you can sit on it for a little while. We probably have to attack that one. We've still got a lot of management to do here. We need to alter some of the forces and such, because I think we need a strong army to attack there. But that has been a bit of Empires in Ruins. I wouldn't say I was hesitant to check out a 4X tower defense game, because I like both of those, but I found myself questioning in a sort of Venn diagram, tower defense on one side and 4X on the other. Where does it meet? Like, where do those two connect and people want both? Well, I surely do, because I've played probably close to 5 hours now of the game, so it's obviously working for me, and I am very much enjoying it, more so for the tower defense side of it than the 4X, if I'm honest. I haven't yet got all of the eccentricities and details down of this side of it, and I could probably take or leave a lot of it, to be honest with you. I like just, it's automated for a lot of it. You just leave the cities to do their own thing, which I'm totally happy with. As I said, I'm more in it for the tower defense side of it, although the 4X definitely does inform that side of it as well, especially when it comes to like the research and such. Like I said, you've got different characters, and it's going to introduce new elements along with it. So you've got the officers battle board here, which is vacant. We can assign them, and yeah, you get more bonuses to things and all that sort of thing. Also, we've got these riots, and I've not yet had a riot, which is probably a good thing, because this riot thing counts down as obviously we do end the turn there, but every time you take the city, it increases the or delays that as well, so that's probably quite good. Either way, I am very much enjoying the game so far. I think the look and certainly the music could put some people off. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but that's not a bad thing. It's just is what it is. Like I said, personally, very much enjoying. Going to spend a lot more time on it, I think, and looking forward to progressing on with the campaign. Also, we'll probably try the arcade mode, because it's just the tower defense element. Sandbox, no, I'm either going to go for the full campaign, or which is what this is, or the arcade elements. Either way, if you like what you see, then by all means check the link out in the description. As I said at the start of the video, this is being recorded about a week before release, so just please bear in mind it is the development build. There could be some tweaks and changes made here and there as it progresses on, but yeah, I think it's fairly representative of what you can pick up. As I said, links in the description so you can check the game out yourself. If you want to see more, then by all means let me know in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, take care, and generic partings.